parents in our district, we had students in our district. It has become pretty much an epidemic across the entire country. There is a generation now that does not delay gratification. We have Facebook, we have Snapchat, we have Instagram. There is so much at the fingertips of all of our kids, starting at a young age nowadays.
It's something that parents don't realize that their children are using as a way to bully one another, as a way to make poor decisions, sending inappropriate photos and convincing each other to do things that they really shouldn't be doing. They see things like in Hollywood, or they compare their lives to this highlight reel, and it's so unrealistic. And then they come to school and they think, well, I'm not good enough.
We always talk about, why aren't people reaching out? Why aren't people getting help? You actually have to be really strong to talk about these things, and you have to be strong to ask for help.
All right, everybody, welcome to One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. And, I'm just going to tell you right up front that we will probably not be as funny tonight. Now I know that's hard saying that with Jay coming on here with me in just a few minutes, but this is a very serious topic that we feel like we need to definitely get this message out there. And we need you to hear this to know what you can do, as well as being able to share that with others. I think every one of us has been affected at one time or another, or have known somebody that's been affected by a teenager that has committed suicide, or even somebody else that has done the same thing. So we just want to dig into this a little bit tonight, and I'm going to go ahead and bring Jay on here real quick. Again, make sure that you like and share everything tonight, because we want to make sure that if there's even one person that just needs to hear this, that we want to get that message to them. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring Jay on here real quick. Hey, Jay.
Hey, what's up, Dad? How are you
I
doing?
know I'm good. Heavy though, right?
It's so heavy. Like just during the little commercial thing, you have the intro coming in. I was already getting teary-eyed, and I was like, "Oh man, here we go. This is going to be a good episode tonight. I can tell you that."
Yeah, it's you know, I'm going to save it for the end, but I have actually an experience, two experiences that I've had dealing with suicide, and I will save those for the end because I want to make sure that we give our guests tonight plenty of time. Um, Before we get ready to bring them on, you do their intro. I want to, however, go ahead and do something that is a little bit lighter, and just kind of kick things off, change the direction of things here real quick. This is our sponsor, Diesel Power Plus and the Dairy Barn ice cream. Uh, this will make you smile.
Deacon Ryder Gill, you just lost your first tooth. Now where do you want to go?
To the dairy barn to get ice cream.
I will have moose tracks with chocolate syrup, whipped cream, and cherries.
One scoop or two scoops?
One scoop.
What can I say?
Thank you, Dairy Barn Ice Cream.
Thank you, dairy barn.
Well, I made it here, Delton. I'm here at the Dairy Barn, and I'm going to have me some of your ice cream. Here we go. I did not get here quick enough. This is so good. Oh, if you haven't been out here yet, get out here. This is some good ice cream.
Your mouth was just watering looking at that, wasn't it?
But I can always use a nice scoop of ice cream. I'll tell you that. After tonight's program, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So,
All right. Well, we appreciate Delton and Ashley at the Diesel Power Plus and Dairy Barn, and again, we want to thank them for supporting this. So, We couldn't be bringing the messages that we do without them. So, Jay, go ahead and jump right in it. We got some people we're going to bring on. Go ahead and talk about them a little bit.
Awesome. Sports Locker Nation, welcome back for another action-packed episode of One Nation with your hostess with the mostest, Kirk DeMars, and his pudgy little co-host, Jay Gill. Gave myself an intro there. Here you go. Uh, Tonight we have some extraordinary people coming on the show, and they're wanting to share something that's been on their hearts and minds. Tonight, we have some representatives from the Council for Drug-Free Youth here. We will have Andrea Holloway, who's the executive director, and also Tierra Safir, who is the project coordinator. Andrea has a combined 13 years of knowledge and experience with substance use, disorder prevention, treatment, and recovery, and that's services to improve individual, community, and public health in mid-Missouri. She holds a Master of Arts in Criminal Justice and Sociology. Boy, she is so smart just reading all that. Thanks for being on the show. You bring the IQ up. I appreciate that. Tierra, uh, she chose to work for the Council for Drug-Free Youth because of the importance of what they're trying to accomplish for the community, and thinks that it's important to instill the value of a drug-free life in our youth because it is crucial to their development into adulthood. Her drive and motivation is to help develop activities for youth to establish healthy habits in their path to achieving their dreams. Well, I ate that up when I read that. That was from that's from the website under her name, so I appreciate her. Dad, were you popping in to say something?
No, I'm just popping in
No,
to
okay,
shake my
no,
head
pop on in. I
like
looked up and
I'm
you were
listening
there.
to
I
you.
thought, am I in trouble? I'm
Nope,
always in trouble. Oh
nope.
gosh, don't yell at me, Dad. Okay. Also, along with them tonight, it will be two student members of the Council for Drug-Free Youth Committee. First up, we have Isabel Cruz. She's from Russellville High School. She's a ninth grader, and some of her extracurricular activities include Council for Drug-Free Youth Committee member. That's awesome. Russellville Baptist Church, um, a CDFY safety kid, a show me player, and now uplift, cross country, track, and basketball. So I'm like, oh, I
What does she
can't wait
not
to
do?
start talking. Yeah, I can't wait to
I
start
don't know.
talking about sports with her at some point. Maybe when she's a junior, that'll be fun. Secondly, we got on is Katie Rowling. She's going to Helias Catholic High School. She's a sophomore, and some of her extracurricular activities include CDFY's youth committee member, girls tennis, boys tennis manager. She likes tennis, I'll tell you that. The spring musical. I love singing Oklahoma, community theater. If you can tell, I love acting. Oh, okay. And Operation Bugle Boy and the Turkey Hill Ranch Bible Camp. So Dad, I'm just so excited. We've got four awesome people. I can't wait to introduce them. So come on in.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring him on in because I don't need another chorus of Oklahoma. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Good. It's really good to have you here tonight. We, you know, if you guys want to break out and sing with them, Oklahoma, that's fine. But I just, I
Katie,
can't,
you
I
down? You
can't
know
hit it.
Oklahoma? Come on.
I'm down. I'm down. I just got done singing. I'm warmed up.
All right. Hey, look at that.
I am not. I am not. Oh, that'd be brutal.
Well, let me get my phone and record that. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Very important topic that we're going to talk about to begin with, and then we've got some other things that we'll discuss, but we'll just go ahead and jump right in it. So thankful that you're here. Jay, why don't you get us kicked off?
Yeah, sounds good. We're going to start off with you, Miss Andrea. Recently, you had been bringing about awareness for suicide prevention. Can you tell us a little bit about what kind of impact the Council for Drug-Free Youth was reaching for that?
Yeah, so we actually, with suicide prevention awareness, it's actually a new focus for CDFY, or Council for Drug-Free Youth. But as you mentioned earlier, with my background, mental health or suicide awareness has always been They kind of coincide with each other when it comes to substance use. So, bringing that to the forefront, especially now with COVID in our background and what we have experienced, isolation, and not being able to do our normal day-to-day out in the community, it's really put a hinder on a lot of people going forward when it comes to seeking help or enhancing their mental health in that aspect. So, I felt it was very important to bring that to the attention of the community, to parents, to students. Mental health, substance use, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't care what you look like, your ethnic background, it doesn't matter. So that's why I feel bringing this attention to it is very important, especially the community, parents, like I said, and youth. Being able to recognize those signs or symptoms when it comes to those areas. And also, for youth, it's the second leading cause of death. So it's very important as youth are growing up, they are our future. We need to help them and set them up for that future and be successful and succeeding in that way. So I felt it was very important to bring this awareness to our community and helping enhancing in whatever way that is possible, just providing that information or helping adults or parents, navigating that conversation. It's scary to have that conversation with your kids. I'm a parent myself, and so you're just like, well, what do I say? How do I say that? What does that look like? It's a whole new ball game for a lot of people. And, some adults probably think, my kids, I don't believe my kids are, sad, or that wouldn't happen to my child. They know to come to me, or, something of that nature. So it's also letting them know they might not come to you, and that's okay. Just as long as they feel that they have someone that they can turn to. And eventually, hopefully, with that open communication and building that relationship and trust with your child, they will open up with you and let you know really what's going on deep down inside. And, for parents not to react to whatever information that they are sharing with you, it's okay. There is help, and we'll probably get into that more, as we talk, but it is a very scary situation, especially for an adult or a parent, to hear someone of a young age feeling the way they are or thinking the way they are, because what you see in them, that they could succeed or excel in whatever area or expertise that they have currently, or athletics. So it's scary to you to hear that this young person who can be better and excel, like I said, more when they get older, and you're just trying to guide them and show them, your future is bright. But at the moment, that's probably something they don't really want to hear. They just want somebody to listen. So it's just learning to turn on those ears and, step back, taking in that information, and then just being there for them, I think, is probably the hugest part, and maybe the hugest hurdle for adults or parents.
That's right. Yeah. That's great information. Jay, I'm going to let you go ahead and just continue asking the questions. You can go on with that.
Yeah. Tierra, what is the impact throughout mid-Missouri with teen suicide? And what can the students you work with do to see the signs and help make a difference?
Andrea also already mentioned that suicide is the second leading cause of death among uh, ages 10 to 24. And during this time, suicide has increased. So I think students should be aware and not be afraid to speak up. So if you notice changing behavior, withdrawal, recklessness, agitation, or your family or friends are talking about or joking about suicide, hopelessness, or feeling burdened, or their increased use of alcohol or drugs, I think that you just have that conversation, offer help, listen, and be understanding. And if you find yourself in a situation that it's too hard, you should also go out and seek help for them as well.
Very good.
Yeah, that's just great. It's just great information to have. So thank you for sharing that. Um, Isabel, I want to get you into the conversation. Um, how can you make a difference at Russellville High School in helping others who may be struggling with having thoughts of suicide? And how can other students at your school do the same?
That's a good question. I think the most impactful thing we can do is to make them feel like they're an important and essential part of their school and community, and to make sure they know that we care about them and all the people around them care about them. And others can help by making them feel wanted, and this can include even the smallest gestures, such as a smile, or even leading to bigger things, such as a whole conversation. Anything you say, or you can even even if you just have a little smile or anything you say to them can make them feel wanted.
Wow,
I mean,
Isabella, are you like
just having
32?
this little conversation made me feel wanted. I
Is
mean,
she like
you
32
got a
years
great
old with that
voice.
answer? My goodness, she was like whipping that
Yeah,
out. That was great.
that was great. Goodness,
Good
we're
job,
both blown
Isabel.
away, Dad.
Yeah, I think we need to just get off here and let them all take over.
Absolutely. Katie, I'm just, I should just let you start asking the questions. I mean, come on, you're up next. No, uh, Katie, kind of directing it back to you as well. So, you're at Helias Catholic. Um, you guys actually had a student a few years ago, who died by suicide, and that was that was pretty difficult for the Helias school. It was really difficult for the Jefferson City community. Um, what are your goals to help prevent this type of tragedy from happening again, and how can others get involved?
Yeah, actually, Jackson died 2 years ago yesterday. And I think that when he passed away, that was a big wake up call for us in this community to be like, hey, this is really happening in our community and we need to take control and do something about this. I think that honestly, just reaching out and being kind and maybe making friends with someone who you would normally be friends with, you never know when your actions can change someone's life and save someone's life. Just small things, like Isabel said, a smile, something like that. I mean, Elias really suffered when we lost Jackson, and I think that it taught us all really a big lesson about that it's really happening in this community, and we need to watch out for that. And that's just what happens, and we need to stop that from happening.
Yeah, that was absolutely a great answer there, Katie. And we planted a tree in memory of Jackson, and I'm just going to be absolutely honest and open with this. I don't ever want to do that again for anybody going through a circumstance. I just don't ever want to do that again. It shouldn't be something that we need to do. We did it out of compassion and love for the family, but we need to take care of this before it ever gets to that point. So thank you, girls. Excellent job, excellent answers.
Yeah,
Jay.
absolutely. Tierra, how can kids that we work with in the schools be better informed, and what can they do to encourage others to seek help?
I would say, know the facts, be educated. If you think, if you think something, or if you think one of your friends or family members is going through something, don't be afraid to ask. Find a trusted adult and have a conversation. So Andrea mentioned that we're taking on signs of suicide, and it teaches the administration and the staff those signs. And so if you want to learn and if you want to educate yourself, don't be afraid to ask.
Definitely, that's a key, is don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be
Mhm.
afraid to speak up. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. Uh, Andrea, what resources are available for help when dealing with suicide prevention?
Yeah, so as Tiara mentioned, we do have Chad's Coalition. We collaborate with them within the schools to teach administration or staff or whoever they designate within the school to know those signs when it comes to suicide for youth or adolescents or young adults. And then that staff can teach youth within their school, what does that look like for their peers? So then they're educated on what to look for when they're interacting with maybe a friend or somebody that they're just talking to in the hallway. So it's also educating them. We also work a lot with Compass Health Network. They do a lot of suicide prevention trainings or mental health trainings, when it comes to anxiety, depression, maybe bipolar, any kind of topic that pertains to mental health. They're more than willing to come into the schools and talk about that topic with youth or adults. And then, there's a lot of other suicide prevention trainings in the community through Department of Mental Health. There is also a lot of foundations or associations that pertain to suicide prevention. But just some of the things that are out there. There's an adult version of mental health first aid. So it's training adults to see the signs in other adults. And then there's also a youth mental health first aid training. That's training adults to know those signs when it comes to youth that are involved with suicide or mental health aspects. And then a new one is teen mental health. So again, that's teaching teens or, Isabel to recognize those signs when it comes to her teammates or her friends or maybe somebody in the hallway. So it's teaching them to recognize those signs. So if we're all educated, we're all aware, we're recognizing those signs or just being aware of our surroundings, we can really, I don't want to say hopefully eliminate, but really decrease when it comes to suicide through adults or youth or adolescents or young adults. So that's really the thing is educating everyone when it comes to this. And it's okay to talk about it too. It's okay to talk about, I was sad today because of, XYZ. And for youth, they're still developing, they're still growing, their brains are still developing. So for them, it's really hard to express when they're sad or something's just not right for them. So, it's also, like I said, educating those parents. What does that look like? Typically for young adult males, they show a lot of their depression through anger. So you might just think, well, they're just angry. That's normal, or he's being a boy, that boy's being a boy. It could be underlining issues as well. So it's also learning to recognize maybe those other aspects that could be the cause. The cause could be the depression aspect. So, and again, a lot of schools have counselors, the youth or students being comfortable talking to their counselors about it. Or if somebody talks to Isabel about it, her being comfortable to have that conversation with the counselor or a teacher or a principal. Just the administration there and having that trust and rapport really does help.
It really does. And again, it's those resources. And I'm going to ask you if, while we're doing this, somebody can maybe type in some of the links, or even if after the program you want to do that, put some of the links in the comments, and that way we can have that information accessible if somebody needs to go to it. So I think that would be a good thing to do. All right. Well, we've gone through the first segment. The next one's not going to be so heavy. We're going to get into some other things that are going on with Council for Drug-Free Youth, and but before we do that, there's still people that need jobs out there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on our sponsor, CNS Business Services, and they'll tell you a little bit about what they're doing.
Ever wish you could choose the days or shifts you work each week? You can. At CNS Business Services, they're adapting to the way people want to work. CNS is working with area employers, establishing new, innovative ways to work with flexible schedules. Flexible scheduling is designed to find employment that suits your lifestyle. Whether you're a student, a retiree, or need extra income, flexible scheduling at CNS allows you to decide when you work. Call CNS. Your schedule, you're in control. CNS Business Services.
Say yes to CNS.
Yes, we thank them for all the things that they do. CNS Business Services, not only an employment agency, but also they do a ton in our community, and we appreciate them. Jay, before you start with the questions, your mom said hi. I don't know if you saw that, but your mom said hi.
I did. If I didn't see it, she would slap me. So I
Yeah.
saw it, Mama. I got
Okay.
you. I got
Did
you.
But say hi back.
Oh, hi, Mama. Yeah.
All right. I just didn't want you to be in trouble.
Oh, I appreciate that. So, Katie, you are involved in quite a few things. We talked about it earlier in the program. In case if there's a new person listening, girls tennis, boys tennis manager. You got to tell them boys how to swing the racket. I like that. You know, you stand there, arms crossed, tell them that's not how I would have done it.
That's right.
That's not how I would have done it. That's good. That's good. You keep them in line. Them boys need it. Anyways, one of the more fascinating things, you're a part of the CDFY, which is the Council for Drug-Free youth member. I'd love to hear about that, like what that kind of entails, what kind of goals you have for the program, and yeah, what kind of message are you wanting to get out there? The floor is yours.
I've been involved in CDFY for as long as I can remember. I was a safety kid. I've always been around it because my dad is a member of the committee. And so I was happy to join the youth committee. I think one of the biggest things that kids my age I see a lot of is they use drugs and alcohol as a source for fun and things like that. And I'm here to tell you, I'm happy. I'm having fun. I'm having a good life, and I'm not doing drugs or alcohol. And I think that it's really important to show kids that you don't need that kind of stuff in your life to have fun. And yeah, and that's just not what you really need.
How would someone get involved to even join? You know, to be a youth committee member. What would that look like, Katie?
Well, Tiara contacted me, but if someone wanted to be a youth committee member, they can let me know. They can let Tiara know. They can let Isabel know. They can let Andrea know.
Website.
Yeah, we have the website, all that, and we'd all be happy to have more people.
Very good. You hear that? They're not turning people away. So if you're listening and you want to join, come on, sign up. I was curious, you know. I didn't know how that worked. So thank you. I appreciate you sharing.
Outstanding.
Isabel, kind of same direction towards you. In case someone wasn't listening, you know, Isabel's involved in a lot of sports. Let me get all that in there. Cross country, track. I don't know what you find enjoyable about running. That has never been something I have found fun. My legs hate me for it. And then basketball, just more running, you know. I'm like, wow, that's good for you. Good for you. You're healthy. But again, you are also a youth committee member. I'd love to hear how you got involved. You know, what kind of sparked that in you, and then what are your goals for the program?
Of course. So like Katie said, I was a safety kid as a fifth grader, and then as I continued to be a part of CDFY, I was a show me player in seventh grade, and now I'm an uplifter in ninth grade. And I've always been a part of CDFY, and I do the radio contest, which little promotion there. It's happening right now, and if you start on it right now, you can get a video done and send it in, and if you win, you get $250. So there's that.
Wow,
But anyway,
I know what I'm doing after the program. Yeah, absolutely. Keep going.
That's
great. But anyway, so Uplift is for ninth graders, and we go and present to sixth graders. And I think this is a really good program. And by doing this, we're educating those younger kids about the dangers of drugs and alcohol. And then that can help to influence their future decisions about those important matters. So I think that's really important in the CDFY. And I think this also reflects the message we're trying to get out with the youth committee. If we're proactive about informing the youth now, it can help them make safer and better decisions about these important matters later.
Have you found that it's like, you're going into the sixth grade? I remember the sixth grade. I knew everything when I was in the sixth grade. Have you found that kids are pretty receptive, or have they been pushing back? Or I don't know. You're such a nice person. I'm sure they just eat it up.
Yeah, we always go to the schools, and after the programs, we do have a session for questions, and they always ask the best questions, and they're always very receptive of all the information we give them, and I think it just opens their eyes so much.
Very cool. Well, thank you for doing that. I think it's pretty neat.
Both of those girls are awesome. You guys got some awesome women.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Tierra, I'm going to bring you back on. For those that are already involved with CDFY, what do you want to say to them about encouraging others to get involved, and why is it so important for coming from their peers?
Okay, so first, I want to say thank you to all the people that's part of our mission. Without the youth, the volunteers, the parents, the officials, we wouldn't be a coalition. But also, I want to share that I think the importance of being a peer-to-peer, so our peer-to-peer programs or youth talking to youth, is to see to see themselves. So to see the same age and to teach them that it's okay to not, or it's okay to live a drug-free lifestyle, to grow and achieve without drinking or doing drugs.
Yeah, that's great, Tierra. Thank you so much for sharing. Andrea, you're back up to bat. What are some other things that you are currently doing with the Council for Drug-Free Youth, and how can people get involved?
Oh gosh, where do I start? We actually do quite a bit. We have 5 committees that we have. We have a strategic planning committee. We have a membership committee. We do community outreach committee. We have our youth committee. We also hold monthly coalition meetings. These are informational meetings. We like to have everyone involved because it's not just us that has all the information. We rely a lot on parents. We rely a lot on youth. We rely a lot on teachers, administration, youth pastors, churches, you name it. I mean, we need all kinds of input when it comes to the work that we provide out in the community. When we are increasing those protective factors when it comes to protecting youth pertaining to mental health and substance use. So we're trying to increase those, but decrease on the other aspect. Some other things, we do a lot of out in the community when it comes to events. We hold our own events, but we also attend a lot of events that are being out in the community just to bring awareness of the coalition itself to increase membership. We also provide a lot of information. Just this past Saturday, we had a drug take-back day, the DEA's National Drug Take-Back Day. We worked with the Jefferson City Police Department. They have participants or community members drop off unused or unwanted expired medications. As we know, with the opioid epidemic going on, and especially among youth or adolescents, they abuse prescriptions, whether it's to help them study, stay up later, maybe just coping with something that's going on that's stressing them out. You never know what the reason may be. So just having ways to decrease that access when it comes to medications or prescriptions. Also educating them, over-the-counter medications. Youth can access these or buy these, purchase them at a pharmacy and abuse those medications. So again, it's reducing that access. And we have medication disposal pouches that we were passing out. You could take those home, and there's directions on the back on how to use those, and you're able to get rid of medications that you have at home and just throw them in your everyday trash can. So there's a lot of things that we do. And of course, we are always welcoming others to join us, because it is a team effort and it's a community effort. I always say, it takes a village to raise a child. It really does. It takes a community to raise our youth community. So that's our aspect, and that's what our goal is. So you're always more than welcome to call. You are more than welcome to come by our office if you have questions or an idea. I'm always open to anything and everything, because, what we do is very important, and it takes a lot of us to do that and to reach our goals. So.
Absolutely. And you guys do a fantastic job. And just a reminder, as always with every issue of Sports Soccer Magazine, yes, very good. Andrea and Tiara, they both write an article for the magazine. So getting lots of good information there. It's on digitally. If you don't see that, it's on our website, sportssoccermagazine.com. So again, just outstanding job. Outstanding job for all of you tonight. My goodness, that was awesome. You did amazing. Well, yes, absolutely. Clap, clap, clap. All right. I tell you what, if you guys would hold on for just a little bit, we appreciate you being on here, but Jay and I will go ahead and close out the program. We'll make our final comments, and then we'll visit with you briefly afterwards. Thank you so much for being a part of this tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. That was those girls did a great job, didn't they?
Oh, fantastic. It's a tough subject, but it's something that is important to talk about. And like they said, it's, people don't talk about it, and, there can be a stigma tied to it. So all of a sudden you think everything's fine, and it's not. And so, we did have, we've had some rude awakenings over the years. And so I think the more we can talk about it and just realize, like, it's okay.
Right.
It's okay to talk about these things. It's okay to have those feelings. It's okay, and so what's not okay is to ignore it and to
Right.
not share.
Right.
And so when you can find a safe place to go to and talk with people who genuinely care about you, it can change your life. So
Right.
I know you have some things you want to share too.
Well, there's, I'll just give two circumstances. One, back in about 2002, 2003, somewhere around there, I was managing a restaurant in Illinois, and had a young man. I had been there for 2 weeks. This boy was a football captain and seemed to have everything going for him. And I got a call from his mom when he was supposed to be in. I mean, he was joking around all the time. He was just hilarious. You know that, Jay. You're hilarious. You got, somebody like you. But he didn't come into work, and I got a call from his mom and said that he wouldn't be there, and I was like, why? And she said he shot and killed himself. And I was like, what? No way. And what had happened is he had ran into a girl's car in the parking lot at the school, and then he went ahead and drove off, and the sheriff's department pulled him over and just said, boy, your career's over, it's done. And he went home, and his mom asked if everything's all right. He said fine, and he went into his room. She left, and she came back, and he had shot himself. And again, we just have to be prepared with our words. What are we saying to other people? Those words sent that young man over the edge. Those words sent him over the edge where he felt like he had no other hope, no other alternative. And I mean, it was a very, very sad circumstance that did not need to happen. Out of the blue, that was a circumstance nobody saw coming. For me, my own personal experience, I want to just say that I believe that you have the mental aspect of it. I believe that there's also a spiritual aspect of it. As a pastor, I have seen those things as I have talked to different people throughout the country, praying with them, and as well as some of the different circumstances that I've faced. When I was 4 years old, I took some pills from the medicine cabinet, and I basically took too many of them, and they had to run me to the hospital to pump my stomach. And I have no idea. I have no recollection of why I did that, but I did it. And then it was not too many years later, when I was probably about third grade, I again, I have no idea what led me to this, but something caused me to try to hang a rope from our ceiling up in my bedroom, put it around my neck, and then jump off of the bunk bed. Now, when I had hammered it into the ceiling, the board with the rope, I did not hit a stud. So, I mean, I just hit sheetrock. And so what happened? I, boom, hit the floor. Thing came down and hit me. Probably tried to knock some sense into me. But, I laugh about that now, but it was, I mean, that was a sad circumstance. I don't know why I got to that point. And then when I was a junior in high school, just through some different things that came up, I had played football, basketball, baseball, and track. I did that year round from sixth grade all the way through when I was a senior. And for some reason, I just kept having the impression that I needed to just drive my car as fast as I could and drive it off of a cliff somewhere. And I thank God that I never did that and that I was able to turn from that. But I'm just telling you, there was something that was compelling me to do that. And I was able to finally shut that off. And again, as I pray with people all throughout the country, I've noticed that same type of a trend. So again, we're dealing with mental as well as physical, but also spiritual. So I'm just going to say tonight, contact a pastor at your church if you need help. Contact the resources that Andrea and Tara are going to put up. Just make sure that you get in contact with somebody if you have those types of thoughts or you are feeling compelled to do something like that. Please reach out to any of us because we would be more than willing and more than ready to talk to you about why your life is so valuable. Each life has value and your life has value. So we want you to know that. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise because you are valuable. Ephesians 2:10 says, "For you are God's masterpiece." And I'm going to leave it with that. That's how he sees us. And I just wanted you to know that. Thank you, Brad Dempsey, for amen. That's awesome. All right, Jay, I'm going to let you go ahead and close us out here.
That was very beautiful, Dad. Thank you for sharing. I'm really glad that you did not have good carpentry skills in the third grade.
I still don't.
It's no, and it's such a real thing though, and I don't want to make light of it either. So, thanks for sharing that, and thanks for your beautiful message. I couldn't top that if I wanted to. Sports Locker Nation, I know this was a heavier episode tonight, but someone needed to hear it. We didn't bring this content lightly. We didn't say, yeah, we just need to fill a slot. We purposefully brought this to you tonight, and I know someone is listening, and they're going, God thinks I'm beautiful? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
So if you want to find more about that, do as Kirk said. Reach out to some pastors. Reach out to Andrea, Tierra, and we can show you how valuable your life is. So, anyways, this is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. You know what you got to do. You got to like the content. You got to share the content. You got to comment on the content. Let us know you're there. Let us know that you are enjoying this, and we will keep bringing you awesome people every week. I can't thank CDFY enough for being here tonight and for helping spread this message. So you guys are loved. Like we say every week, we love you. God bless you, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, God bless you. See you next week.